The greatest Ambazonian forces on the ground, the dreaded forces of General No Pity, under their mission commander, the commander who is in charge of operation, General No Mercy of Bambalang, have come out together with all the major fighting forces on the ground in Ambazonia to denounce and reject every personality who is representing themselves out there as president of Ambazonia, commander in chief, claiming to represent the forces that are fighting or doing the fighting in the ground. This video was released yesterday, and I have to play this video especially to the international community and our international audience to know exactly what is happening on ground zero. My name is Capo Daniel. I am the commander-in-chief of the Ambazonian Dark Forces, a network of Ambazonian fighters that are waging a guerrilla warfare against the Cameroon government and the Cameroon control of Ambazonia. So, ladies and gentlemen, for over 7 years, the Ambazonian fighters have been fighting so hard and paying tribute, allegiance, and loyalty to leadership and groups or individuals who are in the diaspora, with the hope that these individuals will represent them to the best of their ability and translate their military victory on the ground to political victory. For over 7 years, none of these groups or their leaders have anything to show to the boys. Instead, we have had corruption, disgrace, embezzlement, infighting, people accusing each other for working with the Cameroon government, insulting other, and these have only divert attention from the cause that we are all fighting for and also divide our people. So I'm going to go to the video to play so that everybody can see what these major generals who are the main forces that are fighting in ground zero have spoken. They were all hosted by the general in Bali, one of our major general in Bali, who is Chi Master. And then you also have in attendance, you have Bolo, who comes from Bali Kumbad. You also have A2 from Bamali was there. You also have Colonel Joe Black, who was also there, and many other commanders who are fighting in ground zero and doing most of the fighting who were also there. The generals have spoken. These are the main fighters who are responsible for 90% of the fighting that are on the ground. They have spoken. I'm going to play the video and I'm going to comment on this video and give you some other extra audios that are also coming from some of the fighters.
Amazonian people mourn and say death day on the 2nd of December 2023. The Unity Warriors and this of Ngogutunja, the Freedom Fighter and this of Ngogutunja, where they come today for visit General Chief Master for Bali Kumbat. And I will see them. I will see Major General the only bro. And I will see General No Mercy for Bambalang. Major General the only bro for Bamisi. General Chief Master where Naidi welcome the fellow colleague them for Bali Kumbat. General Big Brenda so Colonel Black Jordis and the other soldiers them, the other freedom fighters in this open line. And General A2 that's for Bamali. Na Bolo that for Bamukumbit. And one thing they were one tell now.
So, as you can clearly see, these are the major generals that represent a very wide field in Ambazonia across our territory. These are the people who are doing the fighting. These are the major generals who have gathered together in this gathering that was hosted by General Chi Mestro of Bali. And you can see there the forces are also responsible for some of the operations, recent operations, I think, that was carried out in Mezam. So these are the forces that are fighting. These are those who are on the ground carrying the gun for the most part. These are the major generals who have come out to make this declaration, which I want to present to you. Let's listen to them.
Fight for person, we fight now for flag. We fight now for Ambazonia, we not fight now for person name.
So the general who is speaking is saying that they are no longer fighting for any individual or any group. They are fighting for the flag because the Ambazonian fighters have been fighting and dying on ground zero, and you have groups in the diasporas and leaders or some activists that have spent time having no consideration of their effort, but waste time declaring unnecessary lockdown that are only increasing the tension between the local population and the forces, imposing tax, using other soldiers to go and attack other soldiers in order for leaders in the diaspora to be dominant. Some of the leaders have been caught red-handed collecting money from the Cameroon government to facilitate trade while selling intelligence that have led to the death of soldiers, in particularly in the coastal region, so that the CDC plantation can continue to operate. We have had leaders in the diaspora who have embezzled huge sum of money. We have also have impostor leaders that are so desperate for power, that are power monger, that each time they talk to soldiers, they go out and misrepresent themselves to the international community as speaking for those soldiers, or those soldiers have given them mandate. Such power mongers are even the worst more than those who are corrupt, because they have been charged, and there are evidence that some of them have instructed soldiers to go and assassinate other soldiers. Today in Mezam, people are asking what is happening with Commander Savior. That is a general who was arrested by the ADF, and today he's already somewhere that nobody can account for his life. So those type of things are going on. People being arrested without any security threat. The soldiers have come together and say enough of those leaders who are incompetent, who have had nothing to show for all the fighting that have been going on for 7 years, but have only increased confusion, division in Ground Zero, and have transformed their liberation movement into political parties. So let's hear the message that is coming from the major fighting forces that are from Ground Zero.
Mona yewe tiwe wapa the one talk for now.
Yeah, my name is General No Mercy from Bambalang, from Marine Force of Bambalang. You define our site.
So this is the mission commander, the person who is in charge of the dreaded forces of the Marine Forces of Bambalang, which was led by General No Pity. As you know very well, No Pity, due to the pressure from his family that the Cameroon government have exerted and other things, have decided to stay behind. So this is the commander, this is the person who is in charge. These are the forces that have been fighting right up to Mezam and in other parts of Ambazonia, that have carried out raid across the border in La Republique to Cameroon. They have come today to address the international community, to address the whole Ambazonia, and their message is clear. Let us listen.
We line our shotgun. The conviction where Diaspora they set up our name. Yes, that not be president. Modify the corner the net tomorrow. Yes, that not be president. We for ground, we not deal with that one.
So what the general is saying is that they have been fighting, and there have been individuals who call themselves president in the diaspora, who is going to call soldiers on the ground and ask them that when they fight, let them call their name, let them endorse them, let them give them a shout out to show that they are the ones who are in charge. And this is the problem we have in Ambazonia. People claim that they have command and control. Of course, they don't have command and control. What we have as leaders in the diaspora are influence over the boys and over activities, because we are seen as those holders of the legitimacy of the struggle, and that is what we have. Nobody have command and control, and so what the soldiers are saying are just the reality. And this is one of the biggest achievements I think we have done since I came out. I told all of our forces on Ground Zero to ban all the current known political groups that are claiming to represent the interests of our people. They do not. They have transformed themselves into partisan political parties that are more interested in their own posturing and their own leadership career, rather than care about the livelihood or the public interest of our people. And this is the right thing for every soldier to do. So if these people stay in the diaspora, you fight, you risk your life, and you call their name, and they just sit on social media and receive praises and go back, and they are doing nothing. Even when they have chances to translate those actions into political gains, they end up putting their own individual ego, their own individual career over the national interest and even the interest of those soldiers. So let's listen.
We not deal with that one. Ever see where the bone we will grow up, we say Cameroon get one president. But Ambazonia, today, where they put on now make 2 weeks, they don't get 7 presidents. So if diaspora no unite themselves under one umbrella, men no man for diaspora, we don't know call unity holders from go to just say, wanna do this or wanna be my picking.
So what the general is saying is that even in Cameroon, you just have one president. How come in Ambazonia, when we don't even have independence or we just create the country recently, we have over 7 people who are claiming to be president? And this confusion must stop. That is what the general is saying. And he said that none of them should not call their name again, and none of them should not claim that these fighters are representing them. Let's continue.
Men no man, where they for up. If them for up no unite, men they count we out from Gokutunja say we know they with their back.
So the general is saying, if all the Ambazonian leaders in the diaspora do not come under one canopy, they do not unite themselves as one, under one, they should not count them as being their backup. They are not speaking for them. They should not count them. And this should be understood very well because we know how some of these groups are behaving. Their main focus is to misrepresent themselves and get that ecstasy from looking good and doing leadership leadership play as they call it in pidgin English. And the generals, they are saying that that should stop.
We fight win our flag. We fight our flag. We fight our flag. We need to fight for my name.
Yes.
Me there for diaspora. They chop me rice and chicken every day. We there go bush for her. We suffer every day.
So you can see the ecstasy amongst the soldiers pointing their flag and say, we are here to fight for our flag. People who sit in their comfort in the diaspora ask soldiers to go and kill each other, ask soldiers to go and do roadblocks, lockdown. Today, as I speak, the road between Bamenda and Bengu is still locked. Order given by Ayabacho. For what reason? For what purpose? What purpose does it save? You sit in the comfort in your home. You ask our boys to go out and destroy even schools without providing alternative in your own comfort. So the boys must come together as they are doing the right thing so that the public interest should be secure. This should be about the people. If anybody in the diaspora thinks that he can go and bring independence, let the person go and bring the independence alone and come and show the people. Let everybody bring something on the table. We must bring the interest of the people on the table. If you want to become a leader, people can't just be dying for you to be in your group and your own cocoon, to be called a president and you feel comfortable and you say that the war can go on forever. Why these boys are suffering and dying and you cannot produce anything? If you want to lead them and you think you are competent, show what you have got. Show what you have got. So this is a very good decision that was made.
Tomorrow, 1 year, we have another one again. Then tomorrow, they'll put president today. He get only that them. When they go don't move any remember they'll go for my own president too. Start for the Jambo hate. Today they'll call Bali, say Bali go do this for Bamali. Call Bali system they go do this. So today, now I don't stop.
So what the general is saying is that some of these leaders, they send other soldiers to go and attack other camps for camps that are loyal to them to be dominant. They have caused a lot of death on ground zero. It is needless to count from Gozang to Bui how many of our soldiers have died as a result of diaspora leadership coming in to push the boys to take wrong decisions that are counterproductive because they want to secure their own power base. It has been across the board, and that is just wrong, and that is just wrong. It is time for us to restore sanity, to restore the people back, to restore the flag of Ambazonia, the common thing that gather every Ambazonia. It is time for us to abandon all those groups and occultic personality. Those people are not even happy today if Ambazonia is winning, if it is not their group. They share only what comes from their group. People who are not in their group, they remove them from groups. They ban them. Very primitive behavior. And somehow they want to represent the whole of Ambazonia. How is that possible? How is that possible?
We fight our common enemy when the Republic. They want to know unite ourselves. We'll be under one umbrella. Like we for Wokutunja, we don't unite ourselves. We'll be under one umbrella.
So you hear what they have said. We are fighting against one enemy, La Republique. That is what I have been singing the whole time. Identify your enemy. We are fighting against La Republique. All this blackmail, going out there, making up stories, fake accusation without any evidence or substantiation against people because you have a group of 15 people on social media who are going to be reposting and resharing what you have said and call you president, call you commander-in-chief. To what end? To what end when people are actually putting their life on the line for this struggle? To what end? So we will put Ambazonia first.
When I flag.
So when I flag, we not get no president. No president. We not get no president.
Our president is the flag. Our group is Ambazonia. That is the powerful message that have been delivered by our forces that are actively fighting on the ground to the international community. All the impostors should stop. And Ambazonians should think about it. If we are fighting against Cameroon, that Cameroon have people who are calling themselves mayors, senators, parliamentarians who were never voted by any significant percentage of the population. We are questioning their legitimacy, saying they don't have any legitimate over us. Then how then can we accept and tolerate people who go and create their own cabinet and claim that they are presidents or things that are over the whole Ambazonia? Awacho came the other day and claiming that I am speaking for all the Ambazonian forces. When you know that you are lying, when you know that you are lying and you kill for that, they will kill for that. And then tomorrow you turn and you are blaming Paul Biya that Paul Biya is killing for power, that he's killing to control, to dominate, that the Francophones want to dominate us when you are doing the other things to other groups. You have neutralized the purpose, the essential strong point of the struggle in so doing. And it must stop. All those unpatriotic behaviors, all those egocentric groups and personality cult must come to an end. And all of the soldiers on Ground Zero have heed my message, the message we have been preaching, that we cannot ignore the failure of these groups. For 7 years, you have nothing to show, absolutely nothing to show. You have dragged our people back, and you are willing to sit in your comfort and say that everybody should die to the last man standing because you know that you in the diaspora, you will be the last man standing. We should focus on the interests of our people. We fight for the flag. We fight for independence, how we can attain it. And if it is not possible for us to win it, we must be honest and accountable to our soldiers. We must. You can't just come and you are taking advantage of people, making them to believe that you can produce something that you cannot. And for 7 years, you have nothing to show. And even when you have the opportunity to negotiate, you sabotage it from the Swiss process to this process. How can we trust people that we cannot even register Ambazonia in the UNPO? When one group is going to register Ambazonia in the UNPO, the other groups are going behind to say that this is not the right person. When you go to any diplomatic corner, it is the same thing. Many hands do like job. We have forgotten those wisdom, wise words. Every Ambazonia should fight for freedom. Abandon this nonsense dream of trying to sabotage, blackmail other people into oblivion. It will never happen. Everybody who have been plagued with this virus of groupism should stop it. It will not work. If you are there promoting a leader or a group, you have been rejected by the forces on the ground. And the international community should know that those who are really doing the fighting have come out to speak. Those who want to be instigating kidnapping for ransom, collecting money from our citizens, all they do is to give pain to our own people because they are so desperate to be filled with that ecstasy of calling themselves a leader. They should see how far they have gone from the real fighters, and they should change their mind and come back to their senses. God bless you all.